Now we're in the final period of the Zhou dynasty, the Warring States period. During this time, the vassal states were eliminating one another. And eventually, Qin emerged victorious and reunified China. But before we discussed this, the wars during the Zhou dynasty at the beginning were relatively small in scale, and now what changed? How come they could eliminate each other? Well, in China, we have a saying, science and technology are primary productive forces. Before, commoners were not allowed nor incentivized to participate in warfare. Just as the Zhou king granted land to nobles, who then established their own cities, those nobles also appointed their relatives or ministries to govern the places, and this created a multi-layered feudal structure. So we already know the story of Zhou Li Wang. Over the time, not just the Zhou king lost his power, but the nobles also lost their control over their subordinates. The nobles were frustrated, but they had no solution until this technological development disrupted this awkward situation. What Zhou Li Wang had failed to achieve, the nobles could accomplish now. At the end of the spring-autumn period and the beginning of the Warring States period, iron tools, ox-drawn plows, and bamboo slips became widely used. Iron tools and ox-drawn plows greatly increased farmers' productivity. In the past, farmers could only cultivate land controlled by nobles under the Jingtian system. With these new tools, however, they could develop private farmland, but in doing so, they lost the protection traditionally provided by their rulers. A new arrangement emerged. Rulers protected private farmers, and in return, farmers paid taxes. Now the rulers had money. What could they do with it? They could hire people. This was where the bamboo slips became important. Before their widespread use, writing and recognizing characters were the privilege of the elite. Bamboo slips were relatively lightweight and easy to copy. The cost of spreading knowledge dropped dramatically, allowing even lesser nobles or fortunate commoners to learn how to write and read. Many educated young men who could not get land became youshi, wandering scholars. They traveled from state to state, offering their talents to rulers. They were like professional managers in modern companies. So now the rulers had their private administrative teams. This process is known in Chinese history as reform, 变法. These youshi became the new elites of various states. They helped rulers reinforce their authority, suppress the old nobility, and push through reforms. Rulers now possessed both wealth and expertise. They could hire talented administrators and recruit large numbers of soldiers. Even if you were not born a noble, bringing back enough enemy heads could earn you a rank higher than that of many nobles. This created an enormous incentive. Warfare became more frequent and much larger in scale. For example, the famous Qin general Bai Qi reportedly buried 400,000 surrounded Zhao soldiers alive after the Battle of Changping. Warfare on that scale only became possible after the reforms. Reform also became contagious. States that reformed first gained tremendous military advantages. Others had to follow or risk destruction. The ruler, now controlling both military rewards and bureaucratic promotions, held unprecedented power. With few remaining forces capable of restraining him, the fragmented feudal order was moving toward its end and eventually led China to its unification. And that's all for today. I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye!